Good evening children. Myself again Elizabeth teacher here to start with your lessons and your poems for standard 6th. Children, I hope you all are fine, isn't it? And you may be very safe at your home as well. You might be feeling very boring also at home, staying home you might be feeling very boring, but when you are at home you have to study, you have to play, you have to listen to your parents, whatever instructions are given by your parents, you have to obey them, because here home is a very safe place where the family members they take more care about you and they love you, they are always back of you, they protect you, and so it's very necessary to stay at home. My dear children, you might be worrying why teacher is talking about a home again and again. Why? Because I want to give you a surprise. I want to tell you something about a home, and that's what we are going to start with a new poem, that is a house and a home. You can see here a house, a home. Yes. So, before starting the poem, I would like to ask you one question. Are you ready to answer? Okay. So, what is the difference between a house and a home? Yes, anybody can answer? Yes, you can. When you bring a picture in front of you of a house, what you can see? You can see big walls, a ceiling, floor, doors, windows and a yard, or you can see a compound, a gate, everything. This is the picture of a house, means it is one structure, isn't it, or it is a building where people stay there. But a home, now this about a home, I want to tell you wonderful things, but before that I want to tell you what is a house. And I know you all are staying in fabulous houses. Some are staying in flat, some are staying in bungalows, some may be staying in row houses, isn't it? And you all are very happy, you all enjoy your life in your home very happily. Why? Because you all are staying together with your parents, with your grandparents, with your brothers, with your sisters, and you all are very happy and you feel very secure in your home, isn't it? But before that I want to tell you that there is some difference between a house and a home. What is the difference? See, if you see here in this poem, a house, a home. One thing I want to tell you again, that whenever I am explaining about this poem, you are going to underline the hard words, you are going to write the meanings, because some of the words are difficult to understand. So, before starting a poem, just everyone take your book in your hand with a pencil, and whatever I am teaching, listen very carefully. So, here if you see, first line if you see, what is a house? And this poem if you see is written by Lorraine M. Hurley. This poet has written a wonderful poem and it's very easy to understand. Sometimes what happens, we get confused between a house and a home, but here he has sought out the solution, what is a home and what is a house. Here if you see, what is a house, he has described a house in a beautiful way. What he has said? It's brick and stone. Do you see children, your house, how it is? It is built up of bricks and stone and wood, that's hard. Now we need wood also. Why do we need wood to build a house? Yes, we need to make doors or windows, or we can say gate, or we use wood even for the construction of your house. So these things, brick, stone, wood, all these things are very essential to construct a house. Then if you see some window glass, if you see your house, just look at your house. When you are sitting at home, we see there's a glass over near for the window where we can turn it or we can pull it, and we use those glass for making of the windows. And perhaps a yard. A yard means what, children? Can anybody tell? Yes, it is a place or it is very closed, that is like a ground, and which is very close to your building or to your house. Now you write down, sometimes we get confused. What is between a yard? Yard, if you see in a sense for maths, it is like a unit, but in English it has a different meaning. So write down that meaning. First underline the word yard. See, I have clicked here. You underline this word yard and write down the meaning. As I am going through the poem, you write down underline the hard words and write down the meanings. Yard means a closed ground next to a building. If you see your house is there and some space is there beside your building, and that space or that ground is called as a yard. So write down the meaning which I have given on the board. So what the poet says, a house it is built up of bricks and stone as well as wood for the construction, isn't it? And perhaps a yard is also built out of some bricks and stones. Now, it's eaves and chimneys. Eaves mean, underline the word eaves, and chimneys also. You might be wondering what is eaves. Eaves, sometimes you listen, you might have listened. Eaves means what? The day before. If you see, when we celebrate Christmas, that time we say Christmas Eve, because that is the day before the Christmas. But this eaves is different. Underline the word eaves and write down the meaning. Eaves means overhanging edge of a roof. Overhanging edge of a roof. Eaves, overhanging edge of a roof. What is overhanging edge of a roof? Can you tell me? Yes. Can you tell me what is overhanging edge of a roof? It is, if you see a house, suppose the house is in this way, the roof is in this way. I will show you with the help of a picture. See here. Suppose this is a house. Now this is a house. Okay. And if you see this like this. If you see, some part is in front of the roof. Some part is in the front of the roof. This is the edge, and the whatever part is in front of the roof, that is called as eaves. This is overhanging. This is the roof and this is overhanging. So this part is called as eaves, which is the overhanging edge of a roof. Okay, children? Then it's eaves and chimneys. Now chimneys also you can see, sometimes we have on top of a roof. What is that chimneys? If you see, chimneys means what? There is a pipe, isn't it? There is a pipe which take the smoke and gases from the fire. Suppose your mother, she is cooking in the kitchen, and whatever smoke or whatever gases are there, that is taken off out of that kitchen through the pipe, and that pipe is called as a chimney. So these things are also there for the house. Then if you see, and tile floors. If you see the floors are also there. Some they have designed tiles, some they have just what we say, the simple tiles are there, and it depends on you how you like it. So, we even have the tile floors to your houses. Then stucco, stucco, underline the word stucco. Stucco means, yes, anybody can tell me the meaning? Stucco, it is plaster used for coating the, yes, putting the walls. You know children, this stucco or plaster, it is a mixture of cement and sand, isn't it? And that coating, that plaster is used for the walls. We say no that we do the plaster. Why? Because so that the construction will be very firm. It doesn't shake or it doesn't fall down very soon. So that plaster we do that plaster for our houses, so that the construction would be very firm and it doesn't break or it doesn't fall down very soon. So this stucco and roof, we need a roof also on top, and then lots of doors. We have lots of doors also, isn't it? We have entry door, then we have a back door. Many doors are there. We have a door for a bedroom, we have a door for kitchen, washrooms. So many doors and windows are there, so that we get some ventilation through windows and also and through the doors. Now this all, whatever information or whatever description is given, that is about a house. House means what? It is just one like a non-living thing, doesn't work. Only it is a structure or a place where all people they stay. This is stable in its place. But I want to tell you now a very important thing. Only a house is there, okay. If you see there, a house is there. But in that house, just if it is built and nobody is there to stay in that house, then what's the use of that? So we need some people, we need some members to live in that house. And where these people, or where all the people, all the family members, they stay there, that place is called as a home. And if you see in your home, you see your parents are there, you stay with your grandparents, you stay with your brothers, you stay with your sisters, many people, isn't it? And you all love each other, you all take care of your parents, you take care of each other, and you all are bonded together with each other. Here in a home, it's not just a building, but here some people they live. They are very happy, they are very bonded to each other, they care for each other, and they have that feeling for each other, isn't it? They strive each for each other, they protect each other. So many things are done in this home, where we have a peace of mind, where we are very happy, and main thing, where we feel very secure. Now, as you know, this day of pandemic is going on, isn't it? These days of pandemic is going on, and what we do immediately, as soon as we complete our work or we complete our whatever work is there outside, what we do, we run away to home. Why? Because we feel very secure there. When it starts raining, we go back to our home. When we feel very hot, or when we are out in the during the winter, we just means we are having that this thing, that when I will reach my home and when I will be secure and when I will be comfortable in my home. Why? Because we feel very, very safe in our home. So here the poet is saying, this Lauren M. Hurley, that what is a home? He is asking us, what is a home? He says it's loving and family. If you see in your family, you all love each other. You love your parents beyond the limit, and even your parents, they love you too, isn't it? Then your grandparents, they are at least back of you. They are, means they love you too much than your parents, and they are ready to do anything for you. So this home is, it's very loving, and here a family stays. Family means many people, they stay in this home. Then, and doing for others means they are helping each other, they are loving each other, and always they try to do something good for each other, isn't it? Your father, he works day and night for you all children. Your mother, she cooks good food for you, she takes care of you, and even she works, isn't it? So many things she does for you. Then your grandparents, they buy things for you, they buy sweets for you, clothes for you, toys for you, everything. They love you. Then your brothers and sisters, what they say, and doing for others means if anybody is sick at home, all they take care of that person, and if anybody is in problem, all together they come at a time and they start help each other, and whatever problems are there, they share with each other and try to remove a good solution on that problem. See, means everyone is doing something for each other at home. Here it's brothers and sisters and fathers and mothers. In a family, if you see, mostly you have your parents, you have your father who is very strict, but he is very loving. You have your mother, even she is strict, but somewhat she takes your side, isn't it? She loves you a lot and she cares you more. Then your brothers and sisters, you may be having elder brother, sister, or younger brother and sister, but they all are very loving. They share your things with you, they give you whatever you want, and they love you very much. It's unselfish act. Children, just you tell me, suppose if your friend, he gives you a pencil for you, what happens? The next day he would ask you something like a chocolate, he may ask you, or he may ask you for a rupee, isn't it? Or he may ask you something in instead of that. But if you are at home, and do your parents or your brother or your sister, they act selfishly with you, or do they ask something back from you, that see, I have loved you so much? Do your father says like this, that my child, I got you a beautiful dress, I got you a bat, ball, so now you are going to pay money for me? Do your father ask you? Never, he will never ask you. Or if your mother, she says, see my dear child, today I have cooked a delicious food, and what you have to do, after having food, you are going to wash all the utensils from the house, and I am going to go and sleep now very peacefully because I have worked a lot. Do she says like this? No, not at all. Or your brother, even suppose if he brings something for you on your birthday, do your brother or do your sister, she says, see, I have given you a wonderful present, now even I want a present back on my birthday? Do they say? Never. These acts, or they love or they care for each other very unselfishly. There is not at all any selfishness in anybody's act. Everyone, they care for each other, and kindly sharing. If you don't have anything with you, they immediately share with you. If you want something from your brother, he immediately gives you. If you want any help or anything from your sister, she immediately gives you back. Or does she say, no, I am not going to give you, this is mine? No, they never say you. Whatever things they have, they think this share is of my, even for my brother also, or even for my sister. So immediately they give you back, they share with you. Then suppose you are sitting and eating a nice pizza at home. Now you might be enjoying now nice delicious food at home, isn't it? And if you want, your sister, she is sitting and eating alone. Then if you go and ask your sister, please sister, I want a bite, will she give you or no? Yes, she won't give you a bite. She will say, okay, take it a whole and have it. Next time I will buy for myself. So means the sharing is also unselfishly, they do this. They don't see that why shall I give them, it is my share. Never. They give it back to you. Then, and showing your loved ones, you are always caring, and showing your loved ones, you are always caring. that even what is your duty, children? See, if your father is loving, though he is very strict for your goodness. He thinks that my child should be a good and intelligent or very brave or very nice understanding child he wants, and he wants that just my child should listen to me. Or your mother also, what she says, that my child should be a good child, nobody should blame or nobody should hurt or nobody should point out a finger to my child. She thinks like that, and they show the love to you, they show the care to you. In that same way, even you also have to take care of your parents. You should also love them. Children, now you all are at home, isn't it? You all are you are getting a lot of time at home. We know you all are studying also, you all are playing also, but some time you are getting for you. If you see girls, you should help your mother at home. You should help her in the kitchen. You should chop the vegetables, or you should sweep the floor. Means very small things you can help out to your mother. And boys also, you can help to your mother by going and bringing some things, not like outside, but you should be very careful while going outside nowadays. But in the sense, you can help your mother in some or the other way, so that even they will feel better, and this will be a good use of time, and you will learn good things that will be very useful for your sake in the future. So children, as your father and your mother, they love you, even they want something from you. They want that my children also should love me in that way. See children, as I told you, as your parents, they love you, in the same way even they expect something from you. So what they expect, see, when you grow up, I know many children, they leave their parents in some ashrams, isn't it? That is not a good thing, and you will never be blessed because of that. So if you take, as they have taken care of you when you were very small, so that is your duty. When you grow big in your life, you have to take care, and that is your duty. You have to, there is no you are not going to excuse for yourself from this thing. So as your parents have loved you, even in the same way, it's necessary to love your parents, to love your brothers, and to love your sisters. And this one, that shows that, and showing your loved ones, that is, you have to show your love towards your family, and you are always caring, and also not only just loving, okay, but also you have to take care. In that sense, we can say that you have to take care, and that is a true love. So I want to tell you from over this poem, through this poem, that there are two different there is difference between a house and a home. What is a house? If you see in this poem, if you see, the poet, he wants to tell you or brings out the difference between a house and a home. And you know that a house, it is made up of bricks and stones. Also it has eaves and chimneys also. Even it has a yard. Also it has tile floors, and there are lots of windows and doors in a house. But on the other hand, if you see, a home is made by loving members of a family, and those loving members are your parents, your brothers and sisters. And this family, we have with a family of, we have brothers, we have sisters, we have our father, we have our mother too. And what they do, what we all do, we share each other's joys also and sorrows also. Many happy moments we share with each other. If you have any sorrows, if you have any means something is there in your mind, or you are unhappy, those things also we share with each other. Means what we do, we share each other's joys and sorrows. We help each other and try to sort out the solution or sort out the problems. Then they love one another. We all love another. We all love each other. Also every member from your family, they take care of each other. Every member of your family, they take care of each other. Your father, your parents, they take care of yours, and it is your duty to take care of theirs. then even for your grandparents also you have to take care of them, because they are very old and in their young age they have strived very hard for you, they have worked very hard for you. So, it is necessary to take care of your grandparents also. In fact, if you want to say, I want to say that home is a cradle of all virtues. What is a virtue? What is a virtue? Yes, it is a good quality, or what we say, it is home is a cradle of, cradle means what? In one cradle if you see a baby is there, isn't it, and in that baby means everything is there. We keep toys, we keep that milk bottle, whatever things are needed for that child or for that baby, we keep in that cradle. And I want to say that in that is, this home is a cradle of all virtues. It is like a cradle, and where we all stay together, and every person is having a good quality in your family. Your father is a very hard worker, your mother, she is very loving, your grandparents, they too are very caring. And what is your duty? You should have all these good qualities. You should be hard worker, you should be very loving, and you should be very caring, isn't it? So, from this poem I want to tell you something, a moral, that you have to take care of your parents. As they love you, as they take care of you, it's the same thing you are going to do with your parents, with your grandparents, and then only we are going to say that this is a happy home, isn't it, where we are very safe, where we are very secure, and where we are very happy throughout our life. I hope, children, you all have understood this poem. Now, one thing I want to tell you, that see, this is not as a homework, but I think you should write something about your home. You might be very eager, isn't it? You like to write more and more things about your home. So, I will give you a topic, I will tell you, you just copy down in your textbook and you are going to write a small paragraph on that topic in your rough book. You might be having one rough book. Don't write it in your CW, you write it in your rough book. I will tell you one topic, copy down it soon in your textbook. Write down, my home is the important place, my home is the important place in my life. See, what is the topic? Once again I will repeat for you, my home is the important place in my life. Now, you are going to write a short paragraph, at least 15 to 20 lines on this topic, and you see, you will be very eager to write many things about your home. Why? Because you know that, children, you love your home, isn't it? So, why? Because you are bonded with each other and you all stay together. So, many things are there to write, and hope you are going to write some very good things about your family, as you love your family very much. If you turn the page, see, if you turn the page number 16, if you turn the page number 16, see, working with the poem. First, do you agree with what the poet says? Talk to your partner and complete these sentences. You have to complete all these sentences. For the time being, I will tell you orally, just listen, and these points you are going to write it on your own. But I will explain you some of the points, just listen carefully. A house is made of what? Yes, brick and stones. A house is made of brick and stones. Then it has, what it has? Eaves, chimneys, tile floors, roof, doors, etc. Yes. Next, a home is made by loving members of a family. You know, a home is made by loving members of a family. You are going to write this answer or any other answer if you know. Next is, it has father, mother, brothers and sisters, isn't it? In your family you have father, mother, brothers and sisters. Now, next this you are going to solve you can write complete these sentences about your house and home, that my house is made of bricks and wood, and the best thing about my home is that all the members of the family, we love one another. I hope you liked this poem very much, and in a sense, again I am telling you, be safe and stay at home, because your home is a wonderful place where you are safe and secure. Thank you, children.